Okay, today we're doing something super duper easy to come back from break, like not even lying. It's stuff you already know. Okay, we are talking about parent functions. I gave you like 5 parent functions last before break. Would you agree? The parent functions we had was mx plus b, which is linear. Then we had absolute value, which is either a valley or a mountain. We had x squared, which is the only one we're dealing with today. This is it. This is the only one we're dealing with today, which is either going to be u or horseshoe. Then we have our cubic function, which is our spaghetti. And then our last one is our one-armed bandit, which is the square root. Okay, we've already talked about this through and through and through and through and through. This is not anything new. I'm putting 2 sections together today to make sure that you guys have understood domain, range, and vertex and the transformations. Okay? So if I give you f of x is equal to negative a parentheses x negative x minus h quantity squared plus k, I want you to tell me everything you know about it. What does this negative do right here? It reflects it from being a u down to a horseshoe and reflects it over the x-axis. Would you agree? If my a is going to be a stretch when it is greater than 1. Yes? It'll be a compress when it is a number between 0 and 1, a fraction. Remember that? Compress is your cereal bowl. A stretch is your travel mug. Do we all remember me talking about this previously? Okay? The negative on the inside with the x is when you're taking your parabola, which is a u, and you're reflecting it over the y-axis. The right arm lands directly on the top of the left arm. Now, when you reflect over the y-axis, does it change the shape of the parabola at all? No, I still have a parabola, because if I take a negative value, which is x, and I square negative x, and negative x times a negative x is a positive x squared, which means it doesn't change it. That's why reflecting over the y-axis does not change anything. Okay, then I am going to take this lovely little h value. That h value is going to be our horizontal shift left and right. It is the opposite sign of what you see inside the parentheses. Minus h, you would think goes to the left. It's the opposite, it goes to the right. If I have plus h, it's going to the left. Do y'all understand or remember that? And then the last one is going to be, our 2 is our parent function, and our k is going to be moving it vertically up and down, and it is space value. If it is plus k, you're going up k units. If it's minus k, you're going down k units. Do you remember all of this? Wonderful. So let's go ahead and start with our first example. Our first example, like I said, our parent function will always and forever for today's lesson and tomorrow's be the x squared. Okay, so parent function is x squared. Why? Because of this right here. Now, we're going to do this from left to right, just like we have been doing. Okay? If I have a 3, what does the 3 do to this function? I have a stretch of 3. So under the stretched and compressed, I simply write S3. Yes? Pick up that pencil. Let's go. Then, what's the minus 1 do? It goes to the right 1. So that is my horizontal shift. What does the minus 12 do? Down 12. Now, from there, what can I immediately get? What is my vertex? My vertex is going to be 1 and negative 12, because to right is positive 1, and down 12 is going to be negative 12. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and graph this thing, which you're going to do, you're going to start at 1 and then go down to negative 12. At the point 1, negative 12, is there a maximum or a minimum there? Meaning, have I reflected this thing? We didn't write reflected, so therefore, what should I have written right there? None. So that means if it's not reflected, this thing is opening up and it has a minimum value. Do we all understand that? From my vertex, it has not been reflected. That means it has to have a minimum and it's opening up. Do we all understand that? What y value do I have a minimum at? At negative 12. And you're simply going to write the number negative 12 there. Make sense? Then my axis of symmetry is that vertical dotted line that you can fold this over. And that is going to go straight through the x value of our vertex. So that is going to be x equals 1. Do you remember that? And then the last thing that I want you to put with this section is going to be the range. How do you read range? From which direction? Bottom to top, because range is on your y value. So whenever I'm all the way down here at negative infinity, when do I first run into this graph at what y value? I run into it at -12 and I put a bracket there. And when do I stop running into it? At infinity, and I'm going to put parentheses there. Do we all understand that, yes or no? Yeah? Okay, let's do it again. Okay, very first thing we need to know is the parent function is what? It is x squared, and then go from left to right. What's the negative do? Reflect over the x-axis, which means if it's reflecting, do I have a max or a min? I'm going to have a max. What's the 2/3 do? Compress by 2/3. What's the -1 do? Right 1, and what's the -12 do? Down 12. So now that I have my left and my right shift, what can I conclude next? My vertex is going to be what? +1, -12, which means I can go ahead and graph this thing at +1, -12. And we know that there's a maximum there because it's reflected, so that means that thing is opening down. And where do I have a maximum value at? At the y value, -12. And what is my axis of symmetry going to be? Coming in? 1's a number. Axis of symmetry is an equation. It's x equals a number. And what is that number going to be? X equals 1. You were close. I just wanted you to make sure you gave it all to me there. What is the range? That's teamwork back there. It starts at -infinity, and then I stop running into the graph at the value -12, which is the height of that graph, and that is included in it. Do we all understand that? Okay, I want everybody to try this one by themselves. I will give you a hot second. Are you ready? Okay, parent function, as we already know, is going to be x squared. What's this -6 do to the function? it is going down 6, and that really screws with students generally because it's not in the place that it would like to be at. What's the plus 4 do? It's a stretch of 4. What does the plus 2 do? Left 2, which means what is my vertex? -2, -6. Is this thing reflected? Nones, which means if I graph this thing at -2, -6, this thing is opening up, which means it has a maximum of what value? Oh, I said the wrong thing. Thanks. I have a minimum at what value? I had to check and see if you all were with me. You clearly were. Good job. At -6. Very good. So with that being said, what is my axis of symmetry? X equals -2. And what is my range? Whenever I read this thing from bottom to top, what y value do I first run into this graph at? Very good. Do we understand that? Okay, I'm going to skip around. I'm going to do not that one, not that one. Oh, I do want this one. Let's do this one. Go ahead and do that one for me. Okay, what's the 5 do? I'm sorry? A 5, what's the minus do? Reflects it over the x-axis. What's the 3/2? It is a stretch of 3/2 because it's greater than 1. And what does the -6 do? Right 6. So therefore, if we go ahead and draw this, what is my vertex going to be? 6, 5. So that's going to put me right here. And then reflected, so I'm going to go down with my opening, which means I have a maximum value at what y value? 5. And then what is my axis of symmetry? X equals 6. And what is my range? -infinity to 5. Do you all understand that? Okay, I just passed out your homework to you. I think you guys have an idea of what you're doing. You guys should have the best time to get this done. The answer key is already on my podium. Now, please listen up. Number 1 through 10 are all exactly the same. Identify the following for each of the problems. And with the vertical shift, horizontal shift, stretch and compress, maximum, and at that value, vertex, symmetry, and then the range. Between the problem and these words, vertical shift, there is a gap. I want you to do a quick sketch just like we did in the notes. You all understand that? Because I want you to add that visual to yourself, right? It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. It's a quick sketch. You want to understand what quadrant it's at. You understand if it's going to be opening up, if it's going to be opening down. We understand it's going to look like a serial mode, it's going to look like a travel mode, right? Or the stretch and compress. That's what I want that quick sketch to reflect. Are you all good? Any questions or homework? Okay, you have the rest of the period, which you should be able to do that. Check your answers on my podium as you go. Yes? I am done.